Fired up. J-Sette fired up. Hey, fired up.
Let's go.
What's happening? Welcome back to Tiger Talk TV. This is Band Session with the Boom. You got your boy Terrell Key, aka T Reezy.
And it's your girl Danielle, aka Don Yeezy.
And it's your boy Toby Johnson, aka Fury Styles.
As I pour my cup of water, because we're about to have some great conversations, I want to make sure you guys are tuned in. Make sure you follow us. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts. Also, if you want to see us in the flesh, see us blinking and breathing and going up and down and yaking and shaking and walking. I just made that up, kind of like a Willy Wonka's kind of Dr. Seuss kind of meets a story time book. Check us out on YouTube. Go to the subscribe button and make sure you go over to the right, click the bell. So you can get the notifications every time we go live, every time we post a video, every time we have a show, anything that we're doing, it's coming from Tiger Talk TV because it all helps the cause. That's D.I. Love, Jackson State University. Toby, Danielle, what's cracking?
What's good? We back.
We are back.
Mm-hmm. We are back.
I really am excited. Toby is cheesing over there. I don't know what he is cheesing at or for.
How intentional you are with that water.
You saw me. You saw it. I don't know what made me. I needed to. I
you
ran
got
out of time.
Right, the ASMR, the sound of it pouring into the ice.
You heard that.
Made sure we heard all of that.
Right. Look, I was trying to get as close to the mic as I could. I didn't know if y'all were gonna peep that or not. Yeah, that's what I did.
It's like it's definitely an empty glass. And
then hear the top. Did you know that a top twist can make a noise? That's what it sounds like when you twist the top. That's probably not that sound. But
you got to keep the cup up there because now I'm gonna think you got two cups.
I only have one. No, it's the same thing. It's agua, H2O.
I got you.
Yo, so I'm glad to be back, man. It's good to see y'all. It's good to be back. Thank y'all. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank y'all for keeping up with us. Thank you all for the binge watchers. Ooh, I don't want to get too far. So we have some people out there that have binge watched the show. We are on 40-something episodes. Ooh. So you got to catch up. We have a lot of conversations. We've talked about a lot of things. Shout out to the binge watchers. I know some binge watchers. I don't want to put them on blast like that. But they hit me up. It's like, yo, I binge watched the show and I have enjoyed it. I said, keep on. We got some fun stuff. What y'all think about that? Binge watchers. They got to catch up.
Oh, it's summertime too. And all my educators going to have all this time off. You can get 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 episodes in a day.
Perfect time for it. And when you hit the right video, they just keep rolling.
Yep.
Keep rolling.
You know, depending on which accounts you hit it on.
That's all. Hey, I got a question though.
You do.
We got one. We can run through this quick. What game event, because we got a long summer, are you looking most forward to for the 25-26 year?
I'm not going to think about it. Vegas. I'm not even going to think. I mean, that's obvious. I mean, clearly, I always look forward to homecoming. Nothing beats homecoming. But I'm looking forward to Vegas. Why? I got one reason why I'm looking forward to Vegas. I'm looking forward to Vegas because we're going across the country again. You know, we just came back from Pasadena and rewind some more Super Bowl. And I mean, We've been across the country a few times, but we're going back. And I don't have to watch them on TV. I can attend because I'm going to Vegas, baby. I'm going to Vegas. I'm going to Vegas, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Viva Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas. Hey.
Man, I get loose like that sometimes. That's my answer. Vegas.
The water, man. What's yours, Dick?
Vegas, without a doubt. Vegas, without a doubt. And my reason is because I know we've played in Vegas before, but I've never been to a Jackson State football game in Vegas. So, different. Yeah, that's different. I'm excited about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I do know. Mine's Vegas as well. You know, homecoming right up there. And then, you know, there's some other games. But Vegas, I enjoy seeing everybody in a different setting. You know, it's not home. Yeah, it's like we all like stranded together. What we're gonna do, you know, to make this event impactful and fun. So I really enjoy being able to see everybody, not just in, you know, in the Jack spots. You know, it's something different. Many of us have been there, but not together. And so I think that's something that I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, the Vegas game, hands down, is gonna be a blast. That's mine.
I can't wait. I literally cannot wait. People don't sleep. Go ahead and get your tickets if you have not gotten your tickets. Secure your flights. The flights are not going down. I don't know though. I don't. That's another topic. Where go ahead and get your flight. Just get your flights, get your hotel, get your tickets, get your passes, and everything you need. It's going down in Vegas, baby. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
That's a lie, but
it's a lie.
Hey man,
that ain't true. That's what they say.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
Because I know everything that come back from everything that happens in Vegas. I get, man, let me tell you what we did this weekend in Vegas, dog.
Right.
I thought you supposed to keep it in Vegas. No. All right, let's do it. I had to get my pom out. So before we do this, so this next special guest, ladies and gentlemen, this guest is so special because what? All of
our guests are special.
Special. So it's crazy. So the last episode we had Miss Natalie Bynum on, but we're going to talking about the J-Sets and all of the J-Set things and the stuff that's centered around the J-Set. We're gonna continue this J-Set conversation, ladies and gentlemen. But we're gonna continue this conversation with the one, the only Miss Gloria Tatum, founder of the Princeton J-Set. Woo!
She got her pop-up.
She got her pop-up. See, this is so amazing. Pom-pom, ready. Hello, Miss Tatum. How are you?
Hello. In fact, let me start out with what we usually would say when I was a J-Set. Hello, ladies. Welcome, gents. Jackson State now presents the very finest in entertainment. From coast to coast, we're the best. Jackson State's prancing J-Sets.
Hey, D, we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna put that in the intro. We're gonna put that in the intro. Let's go on a real video or something. That's amazing. Hey, I need to learn that too. So because I need to start saying that. Thank you, Miss Taylor. Miss Taylor, we're gonna get right into it. We're not gonna waste any time. Yo, Toby, Danielle, let's rock. We got the founder. We got the founder of. I don't want to say too much. We got the founder of the J-Sets right here on Band Session with the Boom right here at Tiger Talk TV. Oh my gosh. Let's get it, y'all.
So, you know, I do want us to roll back, Terrell, and I want you to have the conversation, lead the conversation in how we got Miss Gloria on today, because this was a lot of conversation between the three of us going back and forth, you know, because we really trying to dig into this J-Set history. But before we do that, on every episode, we do want to get the Boom story. So, Miss Gloria, will you please tell us your Boom story, how you, like, where you come from, you know, born, raised, how you came to know of the Sonic Boom of the South, and what led your interest to being part of the Summa Cum Laude bands?
Okay. I am a native of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. That's the hometown of Dr. Jimmy James, who was the voice of the sonic boom of the South. I was a majorette from the first grade all the way through college. And I would come up occasionally on a bus to see the sonic boom on Thanksgiving Day when they were playing Alcorn when I was in high school. And from that moment on, when I would see they had majorettes at the time, and I would say, I want to be one of those young ladies right there.
Wow. Wow. So what led to like, oh, okay, I'm at Jackson State. I want to be one of those ladies right there to the process of becoming one of those ladies right there. Give us some details on that.
Okay. I can start out first of all with the history part, if you like,
Yes, ma'am.
to it.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, going back with some of the band history, of course, I'm sure you all know, Mr. Kermit Holly Sr. was one of the first band directors back in 1946. And then from him came Professor Davis, who was called Prop Davis. Prop Davis, of course, had majorettes. They were like stallions. They were called Hang 'em High girls. And they were excellent baton twirlers and things like that. So, and from Prop Davis came Harold Houghton. And Harold Houghton came to Jackson State in 1971. Shirley Blakely was then the director, and she was the one that actually started the prancing J-Settes. Okay. Shirley was a Hang 'em High girl. And so she was the one that decided that the prancing J-Settes would, or the Hang 'em High girls from baton twirlers to dancers. She was the one, it was her vision to bring us to be dancers. And she took the concept to then the president, Dr. John Peoples, who wholeheartedly embraced that concept. And from there, she also brought in the football coaches. Coach Robert Bob Hill was so excited about the fact that there were going to be dancers and not just majorettes, because for him, it was going to be a recruitment tool. Coach W.C. Garden just loved the idea because he made sure that this J-Sette group was going to be an incentive for the football team. And he would tell the team, you know, if you're up by 25 points or so, I'll let you see the prancing J-Settes. So
come on now. Motivation right there. Motivation. I like it.
Incentive for them. So we knew that if that football team got out there and if they were up, look, we were going to have to bring it. And that's what we did as the prancing J-Settes.
Wonderful. I want to know, so how was it presented? Like, was it just kind of a conversation? Were there videos shown? Was there like, this is what it's going to look like? Like, how did you like present it to the president and the coaches and stuff like that?
Well, actually, again, Shirley Middleton Blakely, it was her idea. She was the one, because she was a Hang 'em High, she was also a dance major and a professional dancer herself. She wanted to see dancing. She loved baton, she loved majorette, but she wanted to change that dynamics. And she made sure that she had the feedback from those who were going to support her on that idea. And once she took it to the president and had those coaches involved, the rest was history. We've been dancing ever since.
Wow.
I love that. So like, were you, I guess my question is, what squad were you on? What years were you a J-Sette?
I'm an original legendary prancing J-Sette. So and we've named ourselves. We have the legends, we have the Motown, We have the Crowley era. So, we've given ourselves all kind of little names to kind of identify ourselves with our eras, which is really, really cute. We love it because who your director was at your time. And so that's how we identify ourselves. So I'm a legend.
A legend. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just had my 50th year golden diploma from Jackson State University.
Oh, wonderful.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
So legend means seasoned. Some people say, oh, but whatever. I love it. I love my time.
I love it too. You were ahead of us.
That's cool. That's good to hear. That's good to hear you say the word legend and you saying that with pride. Like, yo,
Yes.
I'm a legend, which you are, and we appreciate you for being a legend and for everything that you've done. So Danielle was touching on something. You were asking about her years. So you mentioned being a legend. So did you ever so I don't want to go too fast. I don't want to go too fast. I'm gonna back up because I want to piggyback off what Danielle said. It sounded like she was going down. I got a question about something. So you became a J-Sette. You are a legend. So you spent 4 years being a J-Sette. Okay, cool. So let's talk. Let's dig into those 4 years. Somewhere around up in there. Let's talk about those 4 years. So what were those 4 years like as a legend? So this is like you are like the it. You feel what I'm saying? You are the person. So what is that like? What was that life like back in the time in that legendary period?
Oh God, it's something that you never forget. I enjoyed my 4 years as a prancing J-Sette. Everybody that I tried out against, those who made it, those who did not make it. Look, it was tough. It was really tough back in the day during tryout time. We had the band directors there, and it's almost the same now. And you had to get every band director's vote along with Shirley's vote in order to be a prancing J-Sette. You tried out, the first round, you had to get all 6 or 7 of the band directors and Shirley's vote. If you didn't get it that time, you had to come with a round 2. The second round, you had to try out again, all the way to 3 rounds is what they allowed us to do to try out. And so, you're nervous, you have the nervous energy, but you have anywhere between 50 to 75 other ladies that's coming in for a spot just like you. And so we had to really we had to really dance. There was a choreographed dance. And we had a choreographer back in the day. We had a professional dancer by the name of Hollis Pippin. And Hollis would make up a dance for us to be able to, for tryout day. And we had to get in there and we had to do that dance without any mistakes. And so I loved it. We had to burn midnight oil, just like the band members did. We had to burn that midnight oil and get in there and try out against each other. There was no guaranteed spot from year to year. And every year that I was a J-Sette, either 1 or 2 of the J-Settes who were on my line ended up getting cut. And so we laughed with each other, we cried with each other, but we knew that they were going to only choose the best of the best.
We talking 1972, 71.
1971, 72 through 75 was Shirley Blakely. And then in 1975, Miss Naradine Otis came on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 2 questions. The first one would be anytime I think some of the best moments in college or just in life is when you collaborate with others or like-minded people into creating something that's great. I know in 71 when y'all decided, hey, we're gonna be the Prancing J-Settes, we're just gonna dance. There's a lot of things that we look at the J-Settes now that stuck, that started in 1971. I'm sure there are things that we did in 1971, 72, 73 that we thought was going to stick, and it didn't last past the game. Like, how does it feel when you're at a Jackson State game now, and we're talking, 50 years later, and you're looking at the girls dance and they're doing the exact moves that you were doing, 50 years ago? To be part of that, to be in the room, the dance room, when somebody came up and said, hey, let's try this. And then everybody got in line and they did it. And then it stuck 2 games, 3 games, 15 games, 50 years. How does it feel when you see that?
Oh man, it's tradition. For me, it's tradition. You're carrying on our tradition. It's our legacy. So when I hear get ready, every time I hear get ready, and I'm always in the stadium. So when I see them coming through the stadium and they're doing get ready, and part of their steps are some of the same steps that we did 50 years ago. If you enjoy it now, you obviously enjoyed it 50 years ago also. And so once I hear get ready, I'm like, I'm ready. I can almost suit up and get out there with you and come around.
Let's go, Miss Gloria.
Come on now.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
I think she's ready.
I'm cheering them on. I'm making sure that I pray because you don't want to have anybody to get hurt or anything like that. But look, we represented those who came before us, and they're representing those who came before them. And you have to carry that torch because it's not just about us. It's about a complete fan base. And so we want to make sure we're captivating an audience just like the band is captivating that audience. And so it's a big piece of that puzzle. And so we're there to put on a show.
Part 2 of the question, because we rarely talk about this, but I know that our crab year, we had several freshmen J-Settes that came in with us, and we treat them like they're our sisters, and to this day, when we're introduced to them, okay, these are your sisters, y'all got to take care of each other, and like they still sisters to us to this day. Back then, what was the relationship between? Because it was new. This is new. We're not the Hang 'em High girls anymore. We the J-Settes. This is new. They're dancers.
Yes.
What was that relationship, or what was that collaboration between the Prancing J-Settes and the members of the Sonic Boom of the South at the time?
Okay, it was a different relationship because we were located in the dance studio, which was on Dalton Street in the Health and Physical Education building. And the band Sonic Boom was across campus in the music hall. So we would only see them on Thursday and Friday nights.
That's crazy. You said that.
Out and we had to practice with them at that particular
years.
Yes.
Later.
50
years later.
50 years later. So Toby, please don't lose.
Even practice is tradition.
Yes. That's why I asked for that.
Go ahead, Danielle.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Say what's on your mind, because
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Even practice is traditional.
Yes.
Natalie Anton Bynum just said that when we just talked to her.
Yes, but tradition never fails.
Why change something if it worked?
That's right. That's right.
We talked about that same thing, how we would see the J-Settes on Thursdays and Fridays right before the game, because you all were in the dance too. Like, we literally said it. Like, I can go back and find it. I can splice it and make it a little clip. But that's crazy how 50 years later, we're talking 50 years later, the same thing that happened then is happening today, right now. But it's all good. It's good because you got to go and practice dancing, and we got to go practice on this music, and we got to come together. So it makes sense. The gap of when we didn't see you guys now makes sense to me. And I'm reaching out. I'm reaching far in the galaxy now. It makes sense to why we didn't see you guys that much. Because if we saw you guys every night, when would you practice? So
That's
it
right.
makes sense. It
That's
makes
right.
sense. It
But
makes sense. And this
I think a change is going to come. I think there will be a time when the J-Sette, and I think even now, there is a J-Sette area in the same new space
Which
where
is
Right.
Tatum resides now, which it is closer. They are closer now. So I think the bonding would be better. But whenever we got with this Sonic Boom, of course, we were happy to see them and they were happy to see us. They knew the music. We knew the music. They knew what they had to do. We knew what we had to do. And we knew that on Thursdays and Friday, we was there to put that show together.
And certainly you
50
did. 2
years.
days, 2 days, and then on
2
Saturday you're
days.
executing.
That's right.
Two rehearsals.
That's
And
right.
then on Saturday
Yeah.
you're executing. I was just thinking about something as it pertains to rehearsal and the new facility, with the facility that they're in now. And like you said, you think the bonding will evolve, basically, like how. And I just thought about, like, so including just thinking about Monday through Friday and how the band marches to the field pretty much every day, Monday through Friday, right?
Yes.
You all would maybe march back. The J-Settes would maybe march back from the field to the band hall just to, I guess, practice and train.
Correct.
Now they get to leave the band hall with the band, march back to the band hall with the band. It does create, I think, even more of a synergy. And of course, just in terms of like execution, I'm sure it levels up.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
And I think the bonding is a lot better now than it was 50 years ago. And we of course bonded more so with the football team because they were in the same building that we were in. In fact, one of the J-Settes during my time ended up marrying Walter Payton. And so three of the Hall of Famers was there when I was at Jackson State. We were very close. Robert Brazil, Walter Payton, and so we had fun. But we knew when it was time for us to get with the boom, that's what we did.
That was smart. We had to get y'all away from that football callous man. There, have a shot with have to fight all the time. That was a great decision. Whatever band director got y'all out of that.
Say, come on with us. Y'all need to come on. Come get us. Yo,
Y'all,
This band nerd.
oh my goodness, you just revealed something I knew nothing of, and that was that Mr. Walter Payton was married to a J-Sette.
Yes, her name was Connie Norwood Payton. Yes, and the J-Settes really helped retain some of the football players. And so when Walter got to campus, he and I got there at the same time. And so Coach Hill, in order for him to keep Walter there, he says, I need to find him a girlfriend. I need to find him a girlfriend. And so he ended up meeting Connie, who was from New Orleans, Louisiana, and they started dating, got married, and had a family.
Get out of here. Shut your mouth and keep on talking. Shut your mouth.
True blue.
So I got a quick question, and this is just completely off the record. So my mom and dad, it's definitely on the record, not off the record. It's not J-Sette related. So Miss Tatum, my mom and dad both attended Jackson State, and they were there the exact same years you were there. You may not know, so I want to ask you: do you remember You ever meet a lady? My mom was she was in education. She was Linda Green at the time, but she married a guy named Raymond Key. So she's Linda Key now. Do you know who that is?
Yes, I do. Yes.
That's you. So you know my mama?
Yes.
Do you know my daddy too? Do you know my daddy too?
I do. Yes.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Because of course my dad was there at the same time. Man, God rest his soul. He always talked about Walter Payton. So this moment is super special. We'll wheel it back in because to hear those names that I've been hearing growing up as a child, like I am legacy completely. Like Jackson State was like completely. That was all the way in through my skin. And to hear those names and those times, and I didn't even know that Walter Payton married J-Sette because that's new. I wonder how many people knew that. Well, but people from your era knew. But to hear all those names, and I'm like, man, you gotta know my mom and my daddy. That's crazy.
Yes.
I'm gonna send this to my mama. Say, mama, guess who we interviewed? Huh?
Yes, I know both of them.
That's why I can't wait to tell her this because she didn't know we were interviewing anyway. All right, that's all I got. That was quick. Whew, made it.
That's a strong generation because my uncle was around like 71 through 75, and you know that's the Blue Bengals. He's the one who showed me how to be a Jacksonian, because he just never let it go. And you know, and shout out to all those people that get to the game first. Got to get to the game before the band march in.
Yes.
Like it's a whole cult. Like you messing up my vibe if you don't allow me to get to the game before the band march in. Like the whole game situation is different. If I get there after the band march in, I need to be there from get ready to we came to play to start swinging. I need to be there for all that. So yeah, don't mess up my vibe by making me late. Yes.
I'm one of those.
You said that you go in there and you pray first, like so nobody get hurt. Go out there and shake it, but don't get hurt.
Shake it real good,
but don't get hurt.
Don't get hurt. I want to see that salt and pepper.
Sling across the field, girl. Sling across the field.
Not get hurt.
Just a little sprinkle of the salt and pepper. Not too much.
Yes.
Yes.
No overseason. No, can't overseason it,
man. So man. So Toby, before we move forward, you said you asked me something earlier. You said, how did this conversation come to be? You wanted me to expound on that.
Yeah.
So Gloria Robertson, she was Gloria Duplessis. She's Pop Duplessis' daughter. Her son and I grew up together, Miss Tatum, David Robinson Jr. And so we're childhood friends. We've been friends forever. Like I talked to him like yesterday. Like we keep in touch. You know, his mom and my mom were a part of the golden class of 73, I believe. 73, yeah. They were part of the golden class of 73. So they got a picture together, So, from their college days all the way up to when we were born and then to our college days. So it was like, the parent, the parent's child scenario was there. So reached out to Miss Gloria Robinson and was like, yo, we want to get you on the show. And she was like, nope. I got the perfect person for you. I was like, who you got, Miss Robinson? I want to get you on, Pop daughter. We got to, talk about Pop, the whole Pop era. And she said, no, you got to get Miss Gloria Tatum on. I said, oh, really? And she spoke so highly of you. So shout out to David Robinson Jr., aka DJ Freeze, for putting me in touch with his mom, which I called mom myself, and was like, yo, Miss Robinson, I need you on the show. But shout out to Miss Robinson for recommending Miss Gloria Tatum. So we got a few more minutes. So I appreciate you for allowing the conversation to happen and for you to come on today. So we got this on wax. Toby calls it, we put it on wax because you have history, you have knowledge that people don't know about. You've already spit some stuff because I never knew Walter Payton married J-Sette. So I learned some things, learned some stuff, never knew that. So that's how this conversation came to be, Toby.
Yes.
Miss Gloria, you look like somebody that we marched with.
Well, who might that be?
I don't know. You kind of told us before we started recording, and we were all like, "Whoa!"
She got a legacy. She got a
Well,
legacy out there.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
a family affair. We do have a family affair with the Prince and J-Settes and the Alumni J-Sette. Alicia Partee is my child.
Hey.
All right.
Yeah.
She's in our era.
Legacy.
She's our era, man.
Yeah.
Like Miss Gloria is so great. She don't just J-Set, because that's if J-Set's a verb. She creates J-Sets.
She creates.
Right.
Let them be. Like,
There has to be a word for that though, Toby. So J-setting is a verb.
it's a verb.
So, but we got to figure out what is it called. What's the English term when she creates one? What is that? She's a J-set. No, J. We got to come up with a word.
Oh,
Right.
you mean like creator, like a creator?
It's not just
Creator.
me and Alicia. It's also Lula High Pace and her daughter Tara Pace
Mhm.
was a J-Set. You have the Ashleys, Frances Ashley, Mia Ashley, and Chloe Ashley Crowley. You know,
Oh, yeah.
so yes, it's a family affair for us.
That's
I
wild.
love it.
That's
Love
wild
it.
though. Like they come out the womb with boots on. Like you like no, you don't need no hard bottoms. You need these in heels.
Boots on the
Hey. Let's go.
You got a fan, Miss Tatum. You got a fan.
I
You
know
have a
she
fan.
has a fan.
She got a fan.
Right there.
Look, the fans are always close by. We be at the gym. I'm like, why you got your fan in the gym? What we doing? They might play boots on the ground. I said,
You
Lord.
gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love it, yo.
I'm trying
No,
to show it off, but the
Thing is, you got a
You
personal
got a Jackson State fan. I
the
Oh,
JSU
so
fan.
D.
Yes.
mhm.
You holding out? I didn't. Well,
see you. Man,
I'm a fan, but okay.
when that song came out, I knew I should have
Shout
got
out
in.
my
on this fan.
connect. Huh? I knew I
Should've
should
got
have.
That's
Yo,
awesome.
so shout out to all of the. So that's a lot of work though. That's a lot of pressure. So I want to dip into real quick the legacy piece. So you got a lot of these mother and daughters that have become J-Sets, and they've the mothers go on with life and they have a baby, and the baby becomes a J-Set. So then the mother is now back involved in the whole J-Set world because your mama Gloria Taylor. You gotta bring it, girl. I know it's a whole bunch of that. So what's that legacy life like? I know that's a lot of pressure because I know the J-Sets get a lot of heat, especially with the social media world and the body
Hell yeah.
shaming and all that good old stuff. But not good old, but terrible stuff. But like, what is that life like? What is the legacy life like when it comes to the J-Sets? Like, what kind of pressure is that on a young child, a young tenderoni?
Well, I was excited. I did not know she was going to try out. In fact, it was her junior year in high school. She had all of her credit. She didn't have to go to high school her senior year. And we went to tryouts. And I used to always judge J-Sets. And the night she was there, she decided she was going to try out for J-Sets. And
No,
she tried out and she made it.
get out of here.
What?
Proud mama moment. Proud mama moment. You were
Wow.
turning cartwheels. You probably shook your pom pom out your hand. And I know you did.
Yes.
I love it.
Like, unspeakable joy.
Oh, I'm hoping, one day I get a grand that come along and carry the tradition on.
Yeah.
I love it. And speaking of proud,
Uh-huh.
do you have a proud moment from your time as a J-Set? Like, what's one of your proudest moments?
Oh, good question.
One of my proudest was when we did a halftime show for the Dallas Cowboys. And we came back home. I mean, we mesmerized those fans. I mean, they're just mesmerized by us. And they was mesmerized so much that the Dallas Cowboys administration called Harold Houghton, who was the band director at the time, and asked, where did you get those young ladies from? And what was your criteria to choose them? from that moment on, let me tell you, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders were born.
Dallas Cowgirl.
Oh, whoa,
Like I felt this.
Oh,
I
no,
felt
no,
Time out.
Wait.
What? Go ahead, D. I'm sorry.
No,
Lord,
I'm just saying, like,
something.
Hey.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
we really felt special because I mean, this was a professional football team, and here we were. They're from a university, and they loved us. And so to have them to call back, and Harold Houghton told us what had occurred. I mean, we were so excited because we just felt like they recognized us to the point and loved us to the point that when I look at their trials, it's so similar to what we did at our trials. I was like,
I just watched that docu-series last year on their process. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back.
Yes.
Miss Tatum,
I
you
have
just floored me with that one.
straight up.
You floored me with that one. You floored me with that one. I wasn't expecting. I was thinking you're gonna say, and that's when they wanted us to come back and perform again. You said no. That's when the Dallas cheerleaders were formed. So basically you saying if it wasn't for the prancing J-Settes, there would be no ooh. Y'all heard it first right here. Y'all on Tiger Talk TV. It's a band sessions with the boom. Hey, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Here you go. Hold on.
Yo, Toby, are you seeing this?
Yes.
Are you seeing this?
Like I'm fact checking this stuff.
Me too. Are you seeing this?
Hey, this is bad. I don't do this while we talking, but
yeah.
No, you fine. So Miss Tatum. So what you just did was, one of the things that I love about this show is when we have people on, and I love getting people on from back in the day because there's so much history. There's so many stories and there's so much information that has never been told. People have been sitting on it for 50 years, and then they get the opportunity to share it on our platform here. And all we're doing, we're just having conversations about things that you would be sitting around having conversations about with people at homecoming. But the special thing about this, we're putting it on wax. This is a story that needs to be told and shared with people over and over and over again, because this is factual information coming from the boots on the ground, the people that were there that started all this stuff. Like, we talking to Gloria Tatum, the Alumni J-Sette founder. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Gloria Tatum. I mean, it's an honor. So wow. Yeah, that's all I got. I don't even know where I was going with all that, what I was saying, but I just had to say that. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's wild, man. Wow. Toby, what were you doing, Toby? What were you doing?
Nah, man, I was Googling Dallas Cowgirls and the cheerleaders, and just the timing in the year. It's crazy. Like, it all is in line, and it makes perfect sense because I did watch portions of the documentary when it first came out, and it's a lot like a J-Sette trial, minus the audience and everything, but just the critique and the feedback that the girls get, the limited feedback is like, okay, you good, you go. Why do I have to go? I don't know. I don't have time to tell you, but I'm moving on to the next one, because you want to have a solid, but when you look back at that, it does seem like cruel, the process, but then in the end, when you're about business and you're about time and you're about speed and you want to have the best dancers, the people that can pick up on a routine quickly and things like that, you don't have time for spits and giggles. You got to move forward, and so it makes a lot of sense when you look at that. And I'm so grateful that you shared that with us, because that's the type of stuff that we don't know. Nobody taught us that in 1998. We didn't know that Walter Payton married a J-Sette. That was his wife. He had a family with it. Just all of those memories, and we grew up Terrell and I, we kind of grew up in the whole, true blue, JSU from birth and stuff. But like those type of stories get lost, and it's so imperative that we get, the stories of people that were there, that witnessed it, and they can share that with us in the way that you're doing it. I want to go ahead and give you your flowers, and it's quick because just from what I've learned, this is the first time I'm really meeting you and hearing your story. But I think one of the most beautiful things that I've witnessed during this episode is just the amount of passion and love you have for Jackson State University, the Prancing J-Settes, and the Sonic Boom of the South. You up on everything that's going on currently. You talked about the new band hall and how the band, the J-Sets and the band are in close proximity, and how those relationships are going to be stronger, because it's one thing when y'all don't see each other Monday through Wednesday night, and then you Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it's on performance mode. But when you walking into practice together and you walking out of practice together, those true bonds and those true friendships that have a whole nother level of life, where people can actually have those relationships, those lifelong relationships. And I go back to it. You remind me a lot of just my family and how we view Jackson State University, the game, as an event from beginning to end. What we were talking about, you guys were creating tradition back in 1971, 72, 73, those traditions stuck that we still do today. And if we go to a game and they take one of those things out, somebody's going to be complaining about why we didn't paint the front door of the Baptist church. Somebody can complain if you don't salt and pepper. Somebody's going to complain if the band doesn't do Rock the House. And just bringing that to life, the people that got to get to the game before the boom march in. You messing up the whole repertoire if you're not. So I really appreciate your passion, your love for the boom, for the Prancing J-Settes, and then just your history in making the J-Settes what they are today, being part of the process, being part of the conversations that were had, and being part of the practice and the production to what we see today. You're a beautiful person inside and out. And I'm so grateful that you made the choice to come onto the show and be able to share some of this history with us, because like we're not faking when we're smiling and we're clapping and we're waving the pom-poms when you're telling us stuff that we didn't know. Terrell, what you always say?
I never knew that.
You've given us so many I never knew that. We're gonna chop this up in probably like 5-6 different, because we're gonna be throwing those stuff out there, because it's information that people need to know, and it's information that people talk about, but usually it's a question. It's like, what happened? Where did this come from? And then it stops right there. You've given us answers today, so we really appreciate you and your time. We're not stopping right now, but we appreciate your time today, because you deserve those flowers, and that's why you're on this show. We really appreciate you, Miss Gloria.
Well, I appreciate you all inviting me. Don't ever forget the Alumni J-Settes. We are a mentoring group for the Prancing J-Settes. We want to make sure that we thank you. We support them. We are a not-for-profit organization. I formed it because we did not have a support group when I was a Prancing J-Sette, and I wanted to change that. And in 1978, I started the Alumni J-Sette organization, just to make sure that the Prancing J-Settes were going to be mentored and taken care of, and whatever it is that they need, we're here for them. We have supported all of the different sponsors, the band directors, and even the Sonic Boom. That's our job. That's our role. And so I appreciate you all picking up on the fact that I love the boom. I love the Sonic Boom and the Prancing J-Settes.
I just love how proud and passionate y'all generation is. Like, y'all make us like it's y'all. Look, y'all parents were there at the same time. They probably feel the same way and express it the same way. And I just love your grace, but also your passion for the boom, because my best friends are guys because of how passionate I am about the boom. There are a lot of girls, my fellow boom sisters, that are like just band geeks like I am. Not just because I know we're all band geeks, but like I am. And so I just love to see another passionate woman from the boom, a J-Sette who just loves it and represents it so well.
I love it.
So Alumni J-Sette's organization, you are the founder. You answered all of my questions that I was going to have about that.
It'd be like that.
So with that, I just believe everybody, like, how was that received when you say, ladies, I have an idea? How was it received by your peers?
Well, basically, we had our first reunion in 1978. In fact, Dr. Hilliard Lackey wanted to have a J-Sette, Prince and J-Sette reunion. And he called myself, Hollis Pippin, and Lula High at the time to come in to make it happen. And we teamed up and we made that performance happen. Well, I really felt empty afterwards because we just got out and we did our dance, we performed, and then we went on our way. And I felt like we should have done more. I said, well, we should have left something for those who were out there, the Prince and J-Settes. We should develop scholarships and things like that. And so I took that back to Dr. Hilliard Lackey. He welcomed the idea. He says, oh, girl, you're on to something. Mm-hmm. Hollis Pippin, who was our choreographer and who also helped me to put on that reunion, said, girl, you don't know what you are doing. It's going to be some people that are going to dislike you for doing this. He says, but you are setting the standards. And so I said, well, let's see what we can make it do. And so we've been together since 1978. We've had good times, we've had bad times, but all in all, we're here to follow our mission statement and our goals and our value to support the Prince and J-Settes and whatever it is that they need from us.
Something that was formed 46 years ago is not by chance, and it's not a mistake. You can't sustain 46 years. And why do I know it's 46 years? Because I was born in 79. So that right there, man, is crazy that you had an idea, but for it to resonate and to continue. I applaud you for having that vision. And then a lot of us, we have the vision, but we don't have the wherewithal to execute that vision. And you went to step 2 and to step 3. So, oh man, that's just adding to your flowers, woman. Man.
Right. They said they ain't gonna like you. You said, oh, okay, well, anyway.
My flowers.
They ain't always like it.
And again, Dr. John Peoples, who was the president at the time, he loved the idea. So he sanctioned our organization. He says, well, if you can make that happen. I started out with the name, we were called the Veteran Alumni J-Settes. And Dr. Peoples says, well, why would you say veteran? He says, that sounds so warish, like, give it a little smooth tone. How about the Alumni J-Settes? And I said, I love it. And so, and so ever since then, we've still been the Alumni J-Sette organization.
So Dr. John A. Peoples named the organization.
History. History.
Wow.
And the Alumni J-Settes throw a really good homecoming party.
Yes. And we'll be having our 55th year reunion next year in 2026. Yes. So
I might be in that band. I might march in that
another
band.
grand performance from us. We only come back every 5 years. And so we'll be back next year. We want to make sure people don't get sick of seeing us.
You got your routine down? You got your moves ready? You been stretching?
Look, it's gonna take a little bit, but I'll be out.
Start
She'll
now.
be ready.
Start
She'll be ready.
now. Just look.
Mhm.
Just start
Get
now.
them in.
Start
Yeah, just
now.
start stretching.
Yeah.
Miss Gloria, what was your tune back in the day? Like with the like when we playing this on the field, this is my jam. You hear it now on
Maybe.
Kixie.
Yes.
That's my song right there. What's the song?
The first J-Sette song was Kool-Aid by Kool in the Game.
Mm. Look, I'm
And
about to pull it up. So I'm send it to the group. So I'm send it
You
to the
said
group,
Kool-Aid.
Terrell.
Hold on. Kool-Aid. Hold on one
By
second.
Cool in the Game.
Kool-Aid by Cool in the Game.
What? That's the first J-Set song that y'all
So,
danced to.
Toby,
Yes.
can we do something?
Wow.
Toby,
Yes.
I want to
And
do something.
back in the day, there was no individual person. We weren't there as a individual. We were there as a group. We had to all look alike. Hair was the same, nail polish was the same, makeup was the same, everything was synchronized. Dancing was the same. So and you couldn't tell one from the other. That was a Shirley Blakely thing also.
I want to pull this song up, but I'm gonna wait. No, I'm not gonna do that now. I was finna try something. Toby, I was gonna tell you. Let me share my screen.
I knew where you were going.
You know, I was finna pull it up because I've never heard that. I just seen it. We're gonna look this up. We'll figure out a way to. I got an idea. Forget what I said.
Well, the band have a rendition of it. The Sonic Boom has that rendition of it.
Kool-Aid by Kool in the Gang.
That's right.
I've heard a million Kool in the Gang songs. Never heard of Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah.
I will be researching that as soon
Bad
as
song. It's a bad song.
So you said that was the first song? The first song?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta look it up. We gotta get deep.
Yes.
I'm gonna find that.
I got
that's
it.
history right there. Hey, Dr. Rod,
Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna request that for the 55th year.
Yeah.
Well, they may not want it. It may not fit in with the scheme of things. You know, we don't want to do anything that's going to bring it down or take it up too high or whatever. So we really have to work with the band directors when we come in. And whatever it is that they tell us to do, we do exactly what they tell us.
Look,
our
check
role is
it
not
out.
to come in and set their show.
We got you faded. You call us 3 here. We'll come to the meeting when it's time. We'll let everybody know, hey, look, this is what we want for you guys to do. And then we're gonna leave, and that's gonna be it. I'm just kidding. No,
build a show around Beyonce.
Yes. get some boots. Boots are boots, some coochie cutters. You know, you gotta have those boots and
Yes.
You're not lying. Wow. Okay. So this has been amazing. Like this has been really, really fun. Like I really don't want to end this. So I got a question. I got to ask you something. So do you keep up with your buddies and your friends from back in the day that you marched with?
Absolutely. Yes.
All the time. Y'all link up for homecoming. It's always, hey, big head kind of thing. Like what's happening? We kicking it. We linking up.
Yes.
That's wow. 50 years ago.
Yes.
Man.
That's gonna be us, y'all.
It's gonna be us. And then you just celebrated 50. You just celebrated the golden class. So did y'all hang out? So I went. So my mom did it. I didn't let you answer.
We did. We
had
a mix. We did have a
mixer.
Yes.
My mom and
we
they
had
had
brunch,
one too.
we had a mixer. We had graduation.
That's amazing.
Love it.
Thee I love. In the words of C. Lee McInnes, thee I love because I only love thee. I'm stealing that. Psychedelic literature. Thank you for your words, sir. Oh, wow, Miss Tatum, you've dropped some gems on us, and I just don't know where else to go with this because, like, I have like 15 more questions, but I'm not going to ask you 15 more questions because I don't think we have enough time for that. Toby, y'all got anything?
Man, it's something that we kind of talked about it on our show how we march. We started our careers and we moved to different cities and we live life, right? And then a part of that you kind of feel guilty for loving your college so much, but to see Miss Gloria still and I feel like me just past 4 or 5 years just coming back to embracing the love that I received from the I Love and the love that I have for the I Love, to see that sustain. And it's the same kind of love that Terrell, you talk about with your dad and your mom in Jackson State. And it's the same kind of love that I feel through my uncle who and my aunt who are Jacksonians during that time, and the love that they share. And I do feel that our generation are part of the ones that's making it cool to love your university to this extent, and just to create in 1978, an alumni association. To see that vision. We don't have Facebook, we don't have all this stuff. This is like word of mouth. This is calling somebody, girl, I got an idea. I'm meeting with peoples next week, and this is what add this to it. It was like that stuff right there. That passion is just so beautiful to me. Like,
look, we were formed before the Sonic Boom Alumni Association. In fact, they contacted me and asked, how did you all get started? And so I told my story and helped them to form their organization.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some more history.
My kids usually tell people, she says, well, mom has her stacking order. There's God, there's Jackson State University, and then us.
I shake to that. I will shake to that.
That's true.
I shake to that. I shake to that.
I would agree. Your daughter's probably order is the same as well.
Shake to that.
Yes.
I like that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We're gonna use that. That's a clip right there. That's
everybody else.
That's a clip right there.
God, Jackson State, everybody else.
So before we get out of here, man, wow, this went fast. Miss Gloria, do you have any parting words, any shout outs, anything you just want to say? You want to talk about how people can support the JSU, J-Sette alumni, the Princeton J-Sette. What's the name? What's the official name?
The official name is the Jackson State University Alumni J-Sette Organization.
There we go. I knew it was some words that I had missed.
Website and all of that. You can donate anytime through that because all funds go to the Princeton J-Settes. It
all helps the cause, y'all. It's the I Love. It all helps the cause.
Not the veteran J-Settes.
The veterans.
The alumni.
The
alumni. Official name.
They throw a really good homecoming party.
Wow. All right, y'all. So that's it. That's us. This was fun. This was amazing. We got a lot of history. I love history because it's these are stories that have to be told, and I'm sure there are tons more stories. Miss Tatum, I look forward to seeing you this season. I'm going to be looking for you. Where do you sit?
All of you are.
Yes.
You'll see us. Where you sit? You sit by the band. You sit by the band, don't you?
I do not sit by the band.
Okay.
She said 50-yard line on top.
No. I'm in section 103 or 104. I'm actually in 103 because the rest of my family want to sit there. I actually have reserved seats where I do not sit in those reserved seats. But my cheap family want to sit in the general admission. I sit with them. But I'm down low because I want to see every move on the field. And they want to see that also. So I make sure I'm sitting where I can see the band when they're going down. I see the J-Settes when they go to the dressing room, when they come out the dressing room, and I'm on pins and needles for them.
She don't miss. She got a whole. You have a whole production of game day experience. Like from the time that you leave the house, headed to the stadium, probably you get there early in the morning, you tailgate a little bit, so you get your parking spot. You probably park
in unit. It's Team Tatum, Team Donaldson, And so right before it's time for that band to come in, I park in lot A, and I'm right there to see them.
See, this the energy. This you the type of people I like to go to games with.
Yes, we got to get there early.
Wait, let's go. Let's go. Go the same energy.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's amazing. Thank you once again, Miss Gloria Tatum.
Thank
for
you all
spending
so
your
much
evening.
for allowing me to share some of our history.
Absolutely.
And you know what's crazy about that? You said some of our history. I'm sure there's probably several more hours of things that
That's
can
correct.
really be told, and these stories need to be told as well.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to figure out how to get some more information. And
Okay.
maybe at a later date in the time, we're gonna have to figure out, hey, come on back again. We'll have to figure that out. Out.
Okay.
All right. Toby, y'all got anything before we get out of here?
Splendid
good.
cooking with you guys today. This was great.
Yes, this was a
Great.
wonderful conversation. Thank you again, Miss
Thank you.
Gloria.
Thank you all so
Definitely.
much.
And look, Miss Gloria, don't click off just yet. We got to do the after the show,
Okay.
after the show real quick. So
Okay.
that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for tuning in to Tiger Talk TV. This is Band Sessions with the Boom. You got your boy Terrell Key, aka T Reezy.
And it's your girl Danielle, aka Don Yeezy.
And it's your boy Toby Johnson, aka Furious Styles.
And we had a wonderful special guest. Special guest, who are you, ma'am?
Gloria Tatum, founder of the Alumni J-Sette organization.
See, I knew none of us could say it like you could say it. So I knew you were gonna bring that. I shake to that. I shake to that. I shake to that. I shake to that. All right, y'all, that's it. We out of here. Until next time. Peace out.